serving humanity. Rise, stand, let's take the future. Volunteering, solving problems. Do you strive to see a better world? You are welcome to serve. Yes, 2019. Leadership training with exceptional speakers. Come learn, get inspired on the 21st to the 23rd of March. Professionals in their own right, come join us to serve humanity.
And welcome to the Rotary Club meeting of April 21st, 2021. It's my pleasure to introduce our president, Diva Alfaro.
Thank you so much, and welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Raymond, for giving us that great intro this afternoon. And I'd like to just again welcome everybody, those that have never joined us, and those that come back every week. So I'd like to go ahead and pass it on to Lauren Ferrari for the flag salute.
Okay, I'm gonna let my kids actually lead us in the flag salute today. Come here. Now they're gonna be shy. Ready?
No.
Set, go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. What a privilege to have you both lead the Pledge of Allegiance for us. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, I'd like to pass it on to Casey Cox for our invocation.
No one's ever going to want to do the Pledge of Allegiance again. I wonder if I could get some of my kids to come pray. Here we go. Let's pray. Lord, we trust in your justice. We believe that you are a God of fairness and justice and righteousness. And so, Lord, as we come before you and we pray that your justice would be known and your truth would rise up, that we would serve under that banner and that we would make a difference in the world. Thank you for the hope that we all can rise up and make a difference. Thank you. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Casey. So next will be introductions. I'll start off. My name is Diva Alfaro. I have been in Rotary for over 3 years. And I am a licensed loan officer, and I serve all of California and pretty much all of the nation. So I'll go ahead and pass it on to Casey.
All right. Glad to be here. Glad to be a Rotarian leader. I've been a member of San Dimas for pushing 7 or 8 years now. Past president, done a lot of work with the community, enjoying the youth chair and other elements of that position. And my wife and I are health coaches, and we lead to freedom everywhere we go. So Rotary is a part of that process.
Thank you, Casey. I'll go ahead and pass it on to Raymond.
Hi, Raymond Foster, past president. I get to claim 2 years now, I guess. It was a year and a half. And president-elect, so I am the current and public image chair, so I am the face of Rotary.
Thank you, Raymond. Craig?
I'm Craig Jung. I am a 6-year member, past president, current secretary. I do enjoy just helping out with the community, kind of doing our part and giving back. I'm also a dentist in San Dimas, and I will be in and out. That's why I'm still wearing all my stuff. So apologize for leaving.
No need to apologize. Thank you for joining. I'll go ahead and pass it on to Marianne.
I'm Marianne Kistler. I am a member for 25 years or more. I am the current foundation chair. and a past president.
Thank you, Marianne. Mike?
Hi, everyone. Mike Wallace. I am the president of Better Home Financial downtown San Dimas. I've been a Rotarian for about 6 years, and I'm a past president and past treasurer.
Thank you, Mike. Derek?
Hello, everyone. My name is Derek Bathnew. I'm a new Rotary member, and I'm also a teacher in Baldwin Park. I'm on the school board in San Dimas and involved in other various community groups, and happy to be here.
Thank you so much. Next, Lauren?
Hi, I'm Lauren Ferrari. I've lived in San Dimas for about somewhere around 10 years, and I'm a police officer for the city of Azusa.
Thank you, Lauren. Carissa?
Hi, I'm Carissa Ferrari. I joined the Rotary Club last week with Lauren, my cousin. I am in the insurance industry, specifically in the employee benefits and corporate wellness space. And I also live in San Dimas, so I'm excited to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us. I see we have a latecomer come in. Before I ask her to introduce herself, I'll go ahead and pass it on to Rosalie. If you could just introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rosalie. I'm the current transportation director at Bonita Unified School District.
Thank you for joining us. Sylvia.
Hi, everybody. I'm sorry I'm late. So I'm Sylvia. I'm the operations director at the San Dimas Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you for joining us, Sylvia. I'm so glad you made it. So let's see, did I miss anybody besides our wonderful speakers today? I don't think so. So I will go ahead and introduce our speakers for today. First, I will introduce Yesenia Arias. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So Yesenia brings 20 years of community relations experience to the Foothill Gold Line team. She's worked on transit projects that ranging from the OCTA OC streetcar to the Metro West Santa Ana Branch Transit Corridor project and the Metro East Side Transit Corridor Phase 2. And now, most recently, is starting with the construction authority with the Foothill Gold Line in 2017. Now, Kelsey, and is it Budner? Did I say that right? Okay, perfect. She brings 8 years of communication experience to the contractor side of Foothill Gold Line community relations team. She's done the I-405 widening project in 2013, as well as the community relations corridor, gaining knowledge of experience of working on large projects and with direct community impact. She is the representative for the construction on the project and works directly with Yesenia and the construction authority to produce a timely and accurate project information to the community. So their goal is to keep us all informed so there's no surprises. So thank you so much, ladies, for joining us, and I'll pass it on to whichever one of you wants to start.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Okay, you can see my screen? Yeah, okay. I have to apologize to Sylvia from the chamber. I think she has seen my presentation. Like, you could probably do it for me now, huh? Anyway, thank you so much for having us here. Kelsey and I are excited to get the opportunity to just let you know where we're at with construction, specifically in your city, to help alleviate and any concerns or questions that you may have, but most importantly, have the opportunity for dialogue so that you can get all of your questions answered, and maybe even we can give you a foresight into what's coming. So today I'll talk about the Foothill Gold Line. I'll talk about the project from Glendora to Montclair, and then the project from Glendora to Pomona. We'll talk about the San Dimas project elements, of course, construction in San Dimas, and then what we do for community outreach. There you go. Okay. I'd like to start out with this slide just so that we get a good idea. Everybody knows that population in LA County is growing. It's estimated that it's supposed to grow 16% or to 11.5 million by 2040. And at the same time, the San Gabriel Valley will grow by 11.4 or to 2 million people. And the Foothill Gold Line cities, it's projected that they are taking in most of the San Gabriel Valley's growth. Specifically, those cities are growing faster than the entire sub-region. We project that the cities are taking on 41% of all of the population growth in the San Gabriel Valley and 54% of the job growth. So with all that increase in population and in job growth, unfortunately, this is what we're used to seeing, freeways that are jam-packed like this. This is a 210 freeway pre-COVID. And it's estimated that 2.8 trips taking place each day in and around the Foothill Gold Line corridor, that nearly all are by car and only 3% are by transit. So it's important to have a system that is built out and a system that provides choices for people who would rather take transit. We like to highlight who we are because we often get confused with Metro or Metrolink. The Construction Authority was created by state legislation back in 1998, and our sole mission is to build the Foothill Gold Line from Pasadena all the way out to Montclair. We are a separate agency from LA Metro and Metrolink, and our Construction Authority is overseen by a board of directors, which receive feedback from all of the corridor cities through two committees, the Joint Powers Authority Committee and the Technical Advisory Committee. And one of our major partners in building the system is LA Metro. Of course, because ultimately when we're done building it, we hand it over to them for operation. So they are very much involved in the design and the safety specifications of the project, as well as they play a major role in project safety, planning, and then education as well. This is our board of directors that we currently have. And this, I like this slide because it shows you what our grassroots approach looks like. So you'll see that we work closely with all of the corridor cities along the entire corridor through the planning, the design, and the construction phase. And then our governance structure includes a representative from each city. So we have an elected official from the city of San Dimas and our Joint Powers Authority. And then on the Technical Advisory Committee staff, we have our, or your city manager, Chris Constantine. We are building this in 3 different phases. The first phase was LA to Pasadena. That was completed in 2003. That was 13 miles, 3 cities, and 13 stations. The second segment was Pasadena to Azusa. That was completed in 2015, 11 miles, 5 cities, and 6 stations. And then we're currently on this segment now, the Glendora to Montclair, which broke ground in 2017. It's 12 miles, 6 cities with 6 stations. And it's possibly or potentially will be built in 2 different phases. And this is what we're connecting to. This is LA County's rail network. This is specifically what we're working on. So if once we're built out, you will be able to connect to Union Station to get the blue line to Long Beach, or the line to Santa Monica, or just go out to the San Fernando Valley. So it connects you to the entire rail network. Light rail is what we're building. It's very different than Metrolink. You know, it does come on steel wheel and it is on steel track, but the trains are electrically powered by overhead wires. They operate at top speeds at about 55 miles an hour, and they can hold up to 200 passengers per car. The trains right now, Metro is currently operating from 20 to 22 hours a day. And during peak times, trains run every 8 minutes, and off peak times, they run about every 16 minutes. So initially, when we started this project, we planned out to build from Glendora all the way out to Montclair. Unfortunately, we didn't have sufficient funding to do that. So instead, right now, we are fully funded to build this segment right here. So from Glendora all the way out to Pomona. This segment here from Pomona all the way out to Montclair, if we find the funding by October of this year, then we can have Kelsey's group, KPJV, build it. We included that in their contract as a contract option. If we don't get the funding, then we may need to procure after that date expires. This is our anticipated project schedule. The base project from Glendora to Pomona should be completed by 2025. If we get the funding from Glendora to Montclair and we enact that contract option, then KPJV will build the entire project by 2028. This was our groundbreaking in 2017. And then right after we did our groundbreaking, we hired in 2018 W.A. Rassick Construction to complete some utility relocations and protections along the railroad corridor. And then in 2019, we hired Mass Electric to, they completed what they called the pole elimination project, which moved the communication system for the freight system underground to help us make room for the light rail tracks. After that, we hired Kiewit Parsons, which is Kelsey's group, and they started major construction in July 2020 at Gladstone in San Dimas, which most of you may be familiar. So if we're just talking about Glendora to Pomona, it's 9 miles of light rail track. Most of our track is generally within the existing right-of-way that we own. It is electrically powered, so there is catenary wires over the rail corridor. There will be 4 stations, one in Glendora, San Dimas, Laverne, and Pomona. The Pomona station will provide pedestrian access to the Metrolink station. There is 21 at grade, or what we call street level crossings, where cars can drive over the railroad tracks. There will be 19 or new or renovated bridges, 9 traction power supply stations, and then pedestrian access on every single one of our stations will be from both sides. And there will be 4 intermodal parking facilities with bike parking, electric vehicle spaces, drop off, and shuttle bus zones. So like I said, major construction started in July of 2020. And since then, we have completed 80% of the design of the project. The freight track, which runs along the entire corridor, needs to be relocated to make room for the light rail tracks. We're about 18% done with that. And then we have done 22% of the reconstruction of grade crossings. Again, this is where cars cross over the railroad tracks. Those crossings need to be completely reconfigured to add the 2 light rail tracks and move the freight over. So in total, our project is 25% complete, which is it's a pretty big milestone to be this far. And some of the San Dimas project elements, just to kind of go over them again, there is 2 light rail tracks with the overhead power lines on the south side of the corridor. So in San Dimas, the freight line will be moved to the north side of the corridor. The new station will have a surface parking lot with 289 spaces. There will be a drop-off area and bicycle parking as well. There will be a new light rail bridge on Bonita Cataract. The freight will stay at grade or at street level. We are going to reconstruct about six grade crossings in the city. So Gladstone was completed in November. Eucla is currently closed and is being reconstructed. Bonita will be reconstructed. There will be a bridge there, but we will need to reconstruct the entire intersection to accommodate the bridge, and then as well to keep the freight line at grade or on street level. We will reconstruct San Dimas Avenue, Walnut Avenue, and San Dimas Canyon. Monte Vista Avenue, excuse me, will be closed permanently to vehicles, but there will be a pedestrian underpath provided so the community can go from north of the bridge to south of the bridge. This is the San Dimas Station site plan. It's hard to see, but so this is San Dimas Avenue. And then this is Walnut here. This is the parking. And this is the station platform. So you can enter the station through here, or you can enter the station through here. This is CVS, if that helps you. Albertsons is over here. And then this is the station rendering of what it would look like. This is CVS right here. This is the entrance to the pedestrian. Can enter through here, or they can enter to the parking lot that's back here. To give you a little more bearings, this is, I think it's called Most Excellent Juice. And then, I think I said CVS is over here. Okay. This is an engineering drawing of the Bonita Cataract area. The yellow here is the new bridge, the overhead bridge. The freight line, like I said, will remain at grade. The roadway is going to be realigned this way. We'll be adding signals to the intersection. Currently it's just by stop signs. And then Monte Vista, of course, will be over here. This is what the bridge is going to look like. We are working with the city so they can help us design the San Dimas sign based on the letterings and the fonts and what they think is most representative of the city. But the bridge has the lighting similar to Bonita to kind of mimic the look of the downtown. It has brick here. And then in this area here, it's kind of a recess area where the city is going to provide art to put on the bridge based on the city's history. And that's what it's going to look like. These are the catenary wires up here. This is the train coming in. And now I'll pass it over to Kelsey. She'll go over all of the construction that's going on within the city.
Thank you very much. So I'm just going to start with what exactly is going on for construction. As mentioned, we did complete the Gladstone crossing and reopened it in November, which most of you probably know if you live locally, which I'm assuming you do. It was our first crossing, so it did take a little bit longer than anticipated, but I think it was well worth the wait. I think the outcome, I think it turned out great. And as we move forward throughout construction, we've really taken lessons learned from that crossing and applied them to each of our crossings that we close moving forward, thus resulting in faster closure times, opening early, allowing vehicles to cross over. I think it's very much a lesson learned, and we're happy to do so. Eucla is currently closed and completely under construction. We're doing the renovation of the entire crossing. As Yesenia mentioned, every crossing on the project does need to be completely closed and renovated to get all 3 tracks and updated safety regulations with crossing arms, red curb, median, everything that comes along with the updates. So that is currently closed and will be closed through August of this year. Work is going very well at the crossing. I talked to the guys on the daily and they said August is our current date, but there's a good chance that it opens sooner. We are also, if you drive Bonita and San Dimas Avenue ever, you'll see lots of stuff kind of sporadically happening at each corner of San Dimas and Bonita and San Dimas and Commercial. We are currently, we're going to be widening the lanes, adding right-hand turn lanes. We already put in the new signal poles. At Commercial, there will be an entire new signal, which there is not now. So there will be lights. You can, it'll help the traffic flow, we feel, to go down Commercial, and then Park and Ride will be right there as well. Bonita and Cataract. So Yesenia slightly touched on it with that rendering. We are currently working within the lot that's right on the southwest corner of Bonita Cataract. We're starting it because of the traffic switch that comes. We've probably talked to most of you, if not just a few of you, about what exactly was to come to work on the Bonita Cataract crossing. As Yesenia mentioned, it's the freight currently stays on the ground, and we do have a bridge that flies over. But originally we were planning on fully closing the intersection for 6 months to do the entire renovation and reopen it. And we've been working really hard to develop a plan to not fully close it. I don't think this is the greatest drawing, but on the traffic switch, it kind of starts to swerve down and then come back up to make room for the freight and add everything that the bridge needs on the northern side to be able to cross over. So we are looking to do that in phases to keep traffic flowing on Bonita almost the entire time. And then there's approximately 4 phases. We're in the first phase now, so we'll start with some traffic control and keep traffic flowing, keep access to the downtowns, and then eventually looking to close Cataract to kind of redo the entire intersection. But we have started there. We've started with tree removal, which most of you probably notice in the area. I know it's a big deal, but every tree that comes down has to come down to build the project successfully. I know right at that median, because I live locally, it looks completely different than it used to. It feels a little bare, but in due time, there will be a bridge there. So it's very understandable why they were removed. And every time we remove trees that are close to private property, we reach out to them and talk to them, making sure they are fully aware of what's going on. So that's kind of the ongoing construction right at that corner. We are looking to move forward in the phasing throughout the year. As we do so, Yesenia and I will continue to put out public information explaining what exactly is going on, what phase we're in, what the traffic is going to look like, and for how long. So everyone will be up to date with what we're doing. These are our public notices that we put out for every single large operation. So you'll see the one on the left is our Eucla notice that has what exactly is going on, the work times, the days we're working, the detour map. So once we're ready to close the street, about 2 months before that, we start doing outreach with the cities and emergency responders to make sure that everyone is well aware. We wouldn't want to get into a situation where anyone's trying to cross over the crossing and there's a big giant hole there, so you can't get across it. So we do post those on the city websites, emergency responder websites, the Foothill Gold Line Project website, and we also hand them out and talk to everyone that's close by the closure. Then on the right is just an example of that San Dimas Ave and Bonita work that I was talking about. That also explains all the pertinent information in regards to the improvements that are going on. And then Yesenia and my entire job is community outreach. These are, I'm gonna go into the detail on how exactly we outreach just to make sure everyone gets notified. So the map on the right is, I know there's a lot going on. So you can see the crossing at Eucla with the big X in the middle. Everything that surrounds it in the colors, that is everyone that gets hand notified by phone call, flyer, and or email. So that's something that Yesenia and I do together. We outreach to make sure everyone knows what's going on. We have VIPs, or the people that are located within that circle. So they get meetings, phone calls. We meet with them on site to kind of show them and explain what's going on. We personally went to the Best Western and the business suites and both of the construction businesses that are on the north side. We had meetings on site to walk them through everything that's going on. And we do this for every single crossing and every single VIP that requests it. Because people really don't know what to fully expect until we're there and digging something up. So we like to be ahead of that and kind of show them what exactly is going on. First responders also get all of this same information, again, so they don't try to drive through any crossing that's completely under construction. We feel like that's a very important aspect of our outreach. With the notices that I mentioned, we hand deliver them, but we also send them out on e-blast from the public affairs group for the Foothill Gold Line. We do community walks in specific areas that the work is really changing around the existing conditions. A little less in San Dimas and more in Glendora, we're fully closing streets, turning them into cul-de-sacs. For example, Glenwood or West Ada in Glendora, if you're familiar, or something like Monte Vista would get a community walk. Right now it's through traffic for vehicles, but we're basically just putting like I don't want to call it a tunnel because it's not a tunnel. You'll walk where the street currently exists, but you will be enclosed in kind of an underpass, I guess you call it, but you're not going to kind of swoop down like a subway or anything like that. But so the area will get completely notified with what exactly to expect from there. Again, the city website gets our information. We use Twitter, Facebook, and blogs, and we have a really good interactive map on the foothillgoldline.org site. We'll show you in just a minute. I think it's one of the best tools on the project, other than face-to-face conversation. So on that bottom left, you can see all the little dots. If you click on any single one of them, it pops up exactly what operation is going on there, how long it's going to be closed, what exactly it is. All the legends on the right and all the information is on the left. That gets updated by our media relations guy regularly with my Yesenia's information. So it's very much a team aspect on how to get everything out to the public and keep everyone informed. Looking at it on your phone is just as helpful, not while you're driving. And it just really keeps you up to speed. So if you're driving past Eucla and you haven't been to San Dimas for a while, you don't know what's going on, you can really just go on that map and see, oh, okay, it's fully closed, I'm not going to be able to get through. And it also, this website is all over on our banners that are everywhere with the hotline information. So it all kind of takes you to the same place. During our closures, we, in addition to all the outreach that we do with the phone calls and the walking, we also want to make sure that our businesses that are the VIPs are getting enough attention throughout the work. So we have large, they're 14-foot business open flags. We stick them at the corners of all of our crossings to bring attention to some are real small businesses that we don't want to impact them. So we want to draw on the attention from there. So we put up the business open flags. We try to keep everything open access wise. And additionally, the Construction Authority offers advertising in these 2 magazines and local magazines. So I don't think they're all the same in each city, but they do put advertising for the small businesses that say yes to it in these magazines, again, to draw attention into their location. We do have a virtual open house coming up. The date is set at May 19th. We will be going through all of our project updates, kind of like this, but we can very much go into detail. So if anyone's curious if they're getting a wall behind their home or they live close to a crossing, but they're not sure if it's going to be under construction, maybe someone lives in Claremont and they're like, hey, I think I'm on the project, or they're not. We will be there to answer those questions. We can talk about the right-of-way. We can talk about really anything that comes to mind. I know my team will be in attendance. The authority will be in attendance, and anyone else, obviously, who wants to attend. But I think it's a good update and a really good resource just to stay up to date on the information. And this is, it looks like a lot. It's a 6-month look ahead. I'm going to go through each. They're kind of throughout all the 4 cities, so I'll try not to lose you. Fulton Road, which is just on the border of us over here, is going to open actually on Monday. So yay, another crossing open. It closed in February and we will get that open on Monday. Eucla, again, we closed it in March and it's anticipated to open August, but I personally think it will open earlier, which is always good news. Elwood is ongoing and that one is also going to open earlier. Vermont is fully closed. That one's going to take approximately 5.5 months. There is a lot of underground utility work that goes into that crossing that we have given up the space to the utility groups to do their own work. So we are going to be working and they're going to be working right next to us just within our own closure. They just need some additional time, which is why the closure there might seem a little bit longer. E Street is currently closed. Lone Hill, again, if you live locally, there is going to be a 3-day full closure starting at 7 p.m. on Monday, May 3rd. So right at the crossing north of the Glendora Marketplace, it will be closed, but the detour will be available from, you can just go around and take either Amelia or San Dimas Avenue. San Dimas Avenue is designated, but Amelia will remain open. to Auto Center up to the 210, or access into the Glendora Marketplace will be open throughout the entire thing. Pasadena and Lorraine, those are our next 2 crossings that are going to be closed, also both in Glendora. So they're coming quick as well. We are working, if you live on the right of way, you're well aware, we are working day and in some locations night through the mid-block, which is what we call the area between 2 crossings. So all the work that's happening, you know, whether it's track or underground utilities, or they're starting on the wall foundations, they are very much working within the mid-blocks throughout the whole 9 miles. We did completely remove the San Dimas wash bridge to the west of Lone Hill, and they've already put up the new one. So when Yesenia said 19 bridges, it is 19 bridges. However, there are a lot of freight small bridges that you might not even know are out there. And then we do have the larger type bridges, which are Foothill, Grand, and Glendora, mostly affecting you guys, the large Bonita Cataract overhead bridge. Those are the really large ones in comparison to the smaller freight that you might not even realize are getting completely renovated. Light rail bridges are going to be starting as well. Route 66, right next to the overhead freight bridge that exists. Route 66 should be starting in May. We'll start getting the foundations down for that and move our way upward. And then again, that community open house on the 19th. And I believe that the community meeting information will be sent from the public affairs email. So if you are not signed up for those e-blasts, we are happy to get you added onto the list. It'll send out all the meeting information link. So everything will come from the Foothill Gold Line. And I think that is it.
Thank you so much. I mean, that was such great information. And thank you so much for joining us here, ladies. And so I think we don't have time for questions. We have to move it along. But if we end a little bit, you know, before the time, then we can take questions after. So I'll go ahead and pass it on to the fine master.
All right, it's time to talk about what's fine, what's not fine, and anybody else that is fine. So we're going to fine you, or actually you're going to fine yourself some money to talk what you want to talk about. So if you want to complain that there is a closure on Eucla, it'll cost you at least $25 today. Any other fines can be below that. But what fine would you like to address? What's fine, what's not fine? Who's first?
Oh my. All right, I'll go $10. I picked up 2 new clients. I think it's worth $10.
So that's fine?
That's fine.
Raymond, it's fine.
Yeah, I'd like to find the new Rotarians. The money that we raise for the fines goes to goes to a foundation, and we all agree to $125 a year. So you might as well speak up and spend your money if you got something to say. Otherwise, we
let them in. They're now in on the secret.
They're the secret.
I would find myself $5 because I'm headed to Arizona, and the rain is coming in, and I'm going to be where it's beautiful and sunshine. I'm fine.
All right.
I'll find myself $10. My son, who just turned 2, he started daycare last week. And he cried every day, and mom cried every day. And then Monday, everyone was fine. No one cried, so we're all good this week.
Thank you very much.
That's awesome. I'll find myself $10. Oh, sorry, Mike.
No, go ahead. Go.
I'm just going to say, so I've lived in my new community since the end of November. And the reason I chose this place is because it had a beautiful pool that was closed the whole time since I've lived here. And it finally, the gym and the pool opened up last week, and I have been there every single day. So it's nice. And nobody goes, so it's like I have it to myself.
Awesome. Diva's been a workout fiend working on her queen world.
Yes.
If you don't follow Diva on social media, she's actually been waking up early and kicking some butt. Way to go, Diva.
Yes, I have. And you know what? I'll find myself another $5 NPR Fitness is having an event May 2nd, which is a Sunday, where they're going to have 20 vendors there. It's like their grand opening, I believe, of or like re-grand opening, right, Sylvia, for the city, because I guess it closed, it wasn't able to happen before, I guess. But great little gym, you know, 2 women, or, you know, women owners in the community of San Dimas. So just try it out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll find myself $5. Don't really have a whole lot to say. I'm not feeling great today, but I'm here and I enjoy seeing all of your faces and being here with you.
Oh, that's just fine, Mike. Well, it sounds like the fine world is just going fine today. We'll keep moving along. It was a wonderful presentation and we're glad to have everybody here. Back to you, Diva.
Thank you, Casey. Okay, so Action 360, I'll pass it to Raymond.
Hey, so I went to district assembly last night, and they did service projects and fundraising. Actually, the district assembly, because it is virtual now, it gives them a lot more tools to work with to impart information. There are 4 more assembly meetings coming up in the 2 next Thursday and 2 the Thursday after that. All of you Rotarians, you should pop in for one. It is important that 2 of us show up for the grant one so that we can get authorized for the grant money. The 2 things that I took away from that, we are already doing. The whole entire district is trying to move toward Rotary clubs reaching out and working with other community groups on projects. And so we seem to be about 6 to 9 months ahead of the curve on that, because all of our projects have involved multiple community groups. The other issue they're talking about, which is a big change for Rotary, is to focus on storytelling. And so I think that we've done that also with all of the projects that we've undertaken. And so we seem to be ahead of the curve. District Assembly next Thursday, pop in.
Thank you, Raymond. Next is the House of Ruth project update. So what I talked to the people that I've been communicating with, and what is said that on Sunday is not a good pickup date or drop-off date of the items. So Mike, if you're available Monday, I just have to let them know what time we can do the drop-off. Then that would work. So whatever time, if you're available Monday, would be great to get to know.
Mike, shoot me an email if you're available with your truck on that Monday, and we'll figure out a time that works for you, okay?
Yeah, I can make that happen. Let's just put it on the calendar and I'll move everything else around.
10 o'clock good for you?
10 o'clock works. Monday the 3rd, 10 a.m. And that will be from the lodge?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
For the people who are visiting, House of Ruth is a domestic violence shelter and outreach program, and they have a wish list for the families there because they have a transitional housing program. And so we've got now 5 microwaves for them. We have almost everything on the wish list is coming together, from shower curtains and shower shoes, laundry supplies, and the drop-off is Monday, May 1st, either something from the wish list or a financial donation to help us fill that out. And I think, Diva, how's it look? Are we going to come together with a great big thing for them? A great big Mother's Day gift?
We are. I am still waiting to get my big card in the mail that we're going to have that day of pickup on the 1st at the lodge. We'll go ahead. Everybody that comes and drops off, we'd like them, they're okay with it, to sign the card, put some nice, motivational words for these recipients, and just, great collection. A lot of people are very interested. Monetary gifts are also welcome. So I'm very excited. And I do have a couple of high schoolers that are going to come and help that day if we need them. But it's always good. The more, the merrier.
And Raymond, can you clarify that date? I believe you said Monday, May 1st, but sure. May 3rd, Monday morning, 10 a.m. Okay, thank you.
And anyone else, Saturday is the volunteer drop-off day, so that's 10 to 2. So schedule some time to help us out. It'll be at the Masonic Lodge on Monte Vista. And then if you're available on Monday to help us load the truck, and it's Pomona, so it shouldn't be a very long trip. And if you're careful, Mike won't hit your car with his truck this time. We should be fine.
Just so we can mention.
I think that's really on me to be careful. I mean, you know, when you hit a parked car, it's how careful can the other person have been?
Mike and I helped move a victim of a very, very violent crime and relocate them. And Mike hit my car at the thing, so it was.
I was in my truck and I took the corner too tight, and the side of my tire rubbed on Raymond's fender, and I apologized profusely, and he was very gracious about it.
Until today.
Was that was less violent than the phone call a couple weeks ago, huh, Mike?
I wanted to mention really quickly, since Megan jumped on the call, Megan from ServPro. Sorry guys, my laptop's about to die, so I had to plug it in. She joined us right now. So Megan, do you want to just quickly say what you're doing for the House of Ruth?
Yeah, hi everyone. I love House of Ruth. I personally always collect donations for them every Christmas. So I was really excited when Rotary was doing this. But ServPro of Glendora, San Dimas, we set up a box during our business hours. So for people from the Glendora area or Covina, so that way it might be a little bit, maybe just like a spot a little bit closer to them. So we are taking donations there. We have a box outside that's super cute. We've received quite a bit so far. So if you guys know anyone that can't make it over to the Rotary building itself, or maybe a little bit more local to the Glendora area, we will be collecting donations until the last day of the month. So you can always direct them to us, and then we're going to bring them up to the Rotary.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I saw that on the ServPro's Instagram. So if you don't follow them, they have some good stuff on there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
So much. Okay, and really quick, well, I'll go ahead and pass it to Raymond, but before, Sylvia, you're still on the call? Is Sylvia still here? I mean,
hi.
Let me let Raymond finish do his next talk, and before we leave, I'll let you speak. Go ahead, Raymond. Sorry.
So we had Crossroads on, which is transitional housing for women coming out of prison. And they have an excellent program. There's been 35 years. They have a new house in Pomona they've bought, which is not exactly, it's transitional housing, but it's people who've completed their parole where they saved 75% of their money. And it's focused on women, moving them into permanent employment as well as their own housing. At any rate, they have a new place. We've been dying for a hands-on service project for 3 or 4 years. And so we're going to go down. The site visit day is Saturday, May 24th. If you're available, we're going to go down and look at the house. I understand it's a giant craftsman that needs to be painted. It needs a completely landscaped in the rear yard. There's lots of work. I'm also going to involve the lodge. And if you've got another community group that's interested, it'd be nice to get 30, 40 people on a weekend, paint this place, do the lawn. A real hands-on project. It'll be a lot of fun. And so May 24th, mark it on your calendars, will be our site visit to figure out what we're going to do probably in August. That's it.
A hot day in August, huh? All righty. Thank you so much, Raymond. I'll go ahead and pass it on to Sylvia. I know you said you wanted to say something.
Yeah, just thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to visit with you guys. Raymond, you might want to reach out to Life Pacific University. I know the students are always looking for work like that, you know, for projects and that sort of thing. So, and I just wanted to invite everybody. Next week, we're going to be having our luncheon, and we're going to have the new captain from the San Dimas Sheriff's Department, Captain Ash, join us. And he'll be talking about business safety statistics. I know that they do an after hours emergency contact program. And so I just wanted to invite everybody to join us. It's free, and you could RSVP on our website. And by the way, thank you so much for partnering with House of Ruth. We definitely have included it in our newsletters. Raymond has been such a great contact to get that information and pass along with us. And so we're very grateful to have your partnership. Thank you so much.
The Chamber has been a fabulous partner for Rotary, and since Sylvia's gotten the leadership there, it's only grown. I really
thank you.
The leadership and the partnership we have with the Chamber. It's been great.
Thank you so much, Raymond. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Now the calendar.
The calendar, yes. Let me pull the calendar up for you. What did I do? Can you see the calendar? No, you can't. Can you see the calendar?
Yes, we can. Okay.
I can't see it. There.
Take a look.
There
So,
it is. Okay. Can you see the calendar?
I can see it.
Excellent. So we've got next week, we've got Erica Lewis from the Department of State on African Affairs, which will be very cool. On the 5th, the House of Ruth is coming back to talk about teen violence and also to talk about what they received. On the 12th, Reggie Clark from the VOA. On May 19th, we've got the Haynes Family Programs, the CEO, Daniel Maydek. Apparently, Haynes is merging with David and Margaret in some kind of programmatic way. And so they're going to come and explain all that to us. May 24th, we mentioned the site visit, and the club assembly on June 9th. We need to fill out those programs. So if you've got a speaker you want to hear or somebody you'd like to just come to the meeting, let me know and we'll get them calendared in. That's your calendar.
Thank you, Raymond. So next, Mike with the four-way test.
I'm working on it. Mike, you got to unmute yourself.
Sorry about that. Not on my A game today. Okay, so the four-way test is a test put together by Rotarians to address everything we think, say, and do. And the four-way test is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And think of this like a four-way stop. It has to go in all directions to pass the test. You can't pass three and then say, well, you know, it wasn't really fair, but it met the other three. That's not how it works. If you pass all four of these tests, everything we think, say, and do, you will find yourself in the clear that you are acting in good faith. And that is today's four-way test.
Thank you, Mike. All righty, everybody. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Is there any questions for the speakers that we had today? Anybody?
Quick question on the tree removal. Are they making you replace with those other trees? Because that really does make it look naked. I know what the overpass is going to take place, but are they making you put in the other trees for the tree city here?
Yes, there is a tree removal, tree replacement program that we're currently vetting out with each city. So every tree that is removed is tagged and documented for its species, its size, so that at the end we end up with a product that has an in-kind replacement policy for every tree that was removed.
Excellent.
Yep.
Also, you know, we have a 5-minute segment we call a Fast Craft Talk. I would like to invite both of you back anytime you'd like to come to a meeting on Wednesday and get plugged in for a brief 5-minute update. You'd like to let us know what's going on. You're more than welcome to come back to our meetings at any time. And we call
I think we could do that every time or right before we close a street or a crossing. We could just give you the 5-minute on that.
Just shoot me an email and we'll
okay.
transfer you in, and that's not a problem. And I think that would be valuable to everyone.
That's great. Thank you.
That's a great idea.
I have a question, and obviously everything is tentative. There's a lot of dominoes, but when is the current expected timeline to be able to go to the San Dimas station, buy a ticket, and get on the Gold Line?
So if we don't get the funding to get to Montclair, and KPJV, Kelsey's team, builds the project from Glendora to Pomona, we should be done by 2025. And then we hand it over to Metro, and they take about 6 months to test it again and to run it with their operations and their fare system. So I'd say between 2025, late 2025, early 2026, something like that.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So we're on for a ball game, Mike? Take the Metro down there and we're on for a ball game?
Absolutely. And actually, if you want to do that, you know, we can drive over to Azusa and jump on. Right? We could do that this year.
I used to do that in Pasadena.
If we waited 5 years, may have his game dialed in by then, and so it'd be all right.
Yeah, or he may be out of the league.
Oh, that's awesome. So nice to be able to say that you can go, right? Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. 2 minutes to 1. Have a great rest of your day, and see you next week.
Nice to meet everybody. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, girls, for the program.
Yep.
Thank you for letting me pop in today.
Bye. Thank you, folks. Anytime.